Andy, we always try and look forwards, but let's just briefly look back at the past couple of games and two results that you were quite frustrated with.
Yeah, I think the Grimsby game, we played so well first half, and then the second half we come out and we had that freaky sort of goal against us, and then from that moment on we looked just all over the place. Let's be honest, we looked nervous. We was doing things that we don't normally do, and it just kind of fell apart a little bit that second half. And we haven't had too many of those, but that was the disappointment for me. The result's always a disappointment, but the way we sort of went about the second half, we was pretty poor. So we had a good 45 minutes, but you don't get no points for that, unfortunately. And then the Salford game, I mean, I thought we were brilliant on a tricky pitch for both teams, not just us. And we stuck to the plan, and we got our goals, and 3 goals away from home, 3-0 up. And critically, you can start thinking about the 3 points, which I wouldn't say we did, but you do sort of get in that moment. And then once they get the first goal, it gives them a lift, and it was the first goal that shouldn't have happened, really, by our standards. And then it was a tough night, you know. It was we've all been involved in games like this and watched these games, and it was like wave after wave of us not doing the right things and them really getting the impetus to go and get more goals, and they did. And we come away there for 3-3, which feels like a loss sometimes, but I don't think we should treat it like that. You know, we've got deep into the positives in these situations, and the positives are 3 goals away from home. Overall a decent performance. Overall, and we just got to eliminate 1 or 2 parts of our game and get better at, which we're working on.
And you said part of your work, your mentor into Cameron Congreve, was to try and get more goals, and he's done that, particularly in the goal kit, I have to add. But he's been in brilliant form recently, 2 for him on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I've really been demanding of Cam, because he's a nice player. He's a player that I think supporters like to watch. You know, they like to come and see that sort of play. But I don't want him to be one of those players that does all the nicest bits but no end product. And I've really been on at him, non-stop training, end product. And at the moment it's coming to fruition. I'm now on to him about something else in his game, and that's just to help him and develop him. Because I want him to play at the highest level, and he's a good kid. You know, he takes it on board. He wants to learn. He's out there working. So they're the sort of players you want at your football club. Ones that want to learn, ones that want to work, and ones that want to get better. And he's done all of that. I'm chuffed for him. He's a great guy.
Transfer window closed on Monday, and there's been a lot of movement in and out. Let's talk about those departures first, and 2 players who left us last week: Callum Reynolds and Levi Manchi. Yeah,
look, I think we should always remind ourselves that these players have all been good for us, and like everything at every football club, we can't hang on to every player. Certainly at this football club we can't. We have to balance our books. We have to make sure we get players out to get players in, and we have to freshen up, and I've always done that. You know, you can't stay with the same group. I did that at the beginning of the season, and it served us really well. And we have to try and move this football club forward. I think when I first came here, I got rid of about 7 or 8 players that were real favourites at this club, some names that I could roll off my tongue now. And I remember the outcry of everyone saying, I can't believe I have to evolve this football club. And so far we've done that. And that's not to say these boys that have played for us over the course of time have not been brilliant for us, they have. But I have to sort of take us then to the next bit of our journey. And all of those lads, Callum, the opportunity was for him to go to a club that he knows really well, a club that's closer to home for his family life, and a contract that probably at his age, we couldn't match or give him, or give him that length of time. So, we shook hands. I've had some lovely messages from Cal since. We've been chatting away and that. And I wish him well. He's been brilliant for me. And he equally thanks me for everything I've done for him, playing at Wembley, playing at Newcastle, getting promoted. So, that was nice. And he has to move on, and he's moved on. Levi, Levi's been a hit and miss for us. You could argue he hasn't probably got as much minutes as he wanted. I could argue that I see him every day in training, and I have to go on what I see, and people have to trust me on that. We got an offer from Walsall, which was a fantastic offer for us, with the Levi deal, and a good for Levi, and I wish him well, and I hope he goes on and bangs in goals and and you know, kickstarts his career where it should go to. I really do. There's no animosity with either of those boys, and I thank them for their service, and I wish them every success wherever they go next or whatever they do next.
3 players heading out on loan as well at first team level. Bez Topolodge extending his loan at Sutton, Miles Weston doing the same at Hornchurch, and Josh Passley heading over to Ebbsfleet.
Yeah, I mean, Bez's frustration here was not playing. Excuse me. And like all players, when they're not playing, they're frustrated. But we have to carry a squad. We can't, can only play 11, and we have to carry a squad. Felt it was good for Ben to get out and play, and he's gone there. He's done well, done really well for them, and they like him. And I just felt, look, let's not bring him back to sit on the bench, and let's keep him playing. And that worked for all parties. So he's staying at Sutton. Miles is probably at a different stage of his career, if he's to be honest, and he's gone with a manager that he knows at a level that probably suits him at this stage of his career and his age, and he's happy to stay there and play, and I'm delighted for Miles. He's been great for us. And then Josh Passley, he was unfortunate at the beginning of the season to get injured at Harrogate after 20 minutes, and it's took him a long time to get back. He has got back, but he's found himself a little bit down the pecking order. We've got Carl Jenkinson here, and we've got Brooklyn that can play either wing back. He just found himself in a position where he needed to be playing for his own good. And Ebbsfleet come in, and I wish him all the well. He's been brilliant for us, and he's going to go and play football at Ebbsfleet and get some games under his belt.
In terms of players coming in now, Maldini Katsuri from Arsenal, Marcus Ifill from Brighton on a permanent deal, and Harry McCurdy announced just before the Salford game on Tuesday night, so bolstering the squad as well. Yeah,
look, it does make me laugh when everyone panics when they see players come out and they think I'm not signing anybody. I always have a little chuckle when I see all the noise, and look, don't ever worry about that. When the player's going out, you've got to really brace yourself and know that someone's coming in. And we had all those boxed off ready to go. So they were all done. I know everyone wants the announcement straight away, but we have a process that we have to go through, and they have to do a medical, etc., etc. So I'm delighted. Marcus is a player I've watched many times at Brighton. He's an exciting player. He's a young player. He's quick. He scored against us pre-season when we played there. It caught my eye there, and I've watched him several times since, more than several times. So he's an exciting young player with pace to burn. So we're delighted to get him in the door. Maldini is a centre-half. Obviously with Callum going out the door, we wanted to bring a centre-half in. And he's come in. He's a young boy, made his debut the other night. Probably not used to that sort of surface, being at Arsenal and that sort of muck and bullets that we had, but I thought he'd done really well the other night for his first game, so we're glad to have him on board. He's a man, as you can see. He's physically strong for this level, and he'll be good for us. So yeah, delighted to have him on board, and obviously Harry McCurdy, I don't think anyone needs me to tell everybody what he can do. He's the maverick sort of player that you want in your team, and for us to get a player of his quality for this back end of the season, I think it's really good business for Bromley Football Club.
Moving on then, away from players and to staff, the club announced the departure of your assistant manager Alan Dunn by mutual consent earlier this week. Yeah,
look, I must make it clear, I've been speaking to Danny every day. I probably miss him more than he misses me. And I'm it's sad to see Danny go. Without getting into too much detail, I can certainly say, me and Danny have had no fallout or anything like that. There's been I want to make sure there's none of that rumours. He's got a young family. It's demanding football. He's not been out of football since he probably was 15, and he just needs a bit of time to sort of probably readdress himself on a home life level. I respected all of those decisions by Alan. I wish him nothing but the best. We've had some brilliant times together. A picture actually come up my phone yesterday, which put a big smile on my face. And like I say, he won't be long before he's back in the game. It'd just be nice for him to have a little bit of family time with his young family. And I wish him every success. And I'll probably be speaking to him after this interview anyway. So good for him.
We head to MK Dons on Saturday, which, funnily enough, is probably classed as a local game in this division for us at the minute.
Yeah, we've had some journeys, haven't we? Jesus, that's as close as we probably have, other than Gillingham. It's going to be a tough game. It's another stadium that we'll look forward to going to. It's another stadium that probably this club hasn't been to, so it's all new. And they're a good team. You know, you can't get away from that. They've spent some money. They've got a midfielder that we know played really well against us when we played them in the league for Notts County. They're a very good team, and they've got a manager that sets them up and plays a certain style. So we're gonna have to be on our game. There's no doubt about it. It's certainly not an easy match for us. But then no game in this league is, and it's another fixture I'm really relishing and looking forward to.
Well, Andy, we'll catch up with you after that one. As always, thanks for your time.
Thank you.